Hello, everybody. This is the Earful Tower podcast. My name is Oliver G. Across from me, Lina Norden G, my wife. How you doing?
I'm feeling great.
Well, I hope you're feeling great because the competition
I'm ready.
is on.
It is.
We've, for everybody listening or watching at home, we've got an email from a certain Will Easton asking for help on travel itinerary. And the idea is I'm going to give my itinerary ideas. You're going to give yours. Mm-hmm. People at home are going to vote on them, and hopefully everyone can get some tips for things to do in Paris. What do you think?
I think it's perfect.
Well, let's get into the episode. This is the Earful Tower. My name is Oliver G, and here comes some music from Press Maxim. Okay, so Lena, we've got this email. I'm going to read it out for everybody, for you, for me, for everybody. Hi, Oliver. I have a layover in Paris in October, and I'm wondering what the right plan is to use my time wisely. It's a Saturday. I land just before 8 a.m., and my next flight is just before 10 p.m. That gives a total of 14 hours to leave the airport and get back! Exclamation. Could be important if you want.
Okay.
You're thinking about his character as well. Okay. I appreciate your advice as I've never been to Paris before. Thank you! Exclamation.
Presumptuous.
Will Easton. Now, for full disclosure, usually I get emails like this. I might send something quite brief in response, linking to some work I've done before, suggesting...
Sure, you're a busy man.
Yeah, suggesting do a walking tour.
Fair enough.
This time we're taking it to the next level. I'm going to recommend things to do. But first, I want to know what you think about this Will Easton and what your angle is going to be.
Okay, Will. Will is a young man's name. Do you think? I think. Young man's name. He is a busy man, a businessman.
Yep.
Perhaps. Landing at CDG.
Yep.
Yeah. Coming in for a layover. I feel like he is coming in to collect stories.
Okay.
Yeah. He could have easily got a straight flight to wherever he's going. He might even just be here for the weekend.
Okay, you think, okay.
Literally, just to pick up some croissants for his lady love.
Okay, wow, you got a lot from those words.
I'm just you know.
The itinerary I've written is based on him being young as well, and I get the feeling he's a student. I think he's budget conscious, and I don't know. I think his time is valuable to him. I think he's intelligent. The way that reached out to you. He's resourceful. How many people have a layover in a city and then reach out to a podcast for tips? This guy's resourceful. Yeah. I think because he's a student, obviously he's looking to save some money. So I've written an itinerary that keeps that in mind. Okay. Shall I present my itinerary to you?
Be my guest.
As a reminder, 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. As for your itinerary, I will be picking it to bits because this is a competition. I don't know what the stakes are. If we do more of these, we'll figure out the stakes. A stake.
Literally.
And then the Patreon members are going to vote on whose is the best.
Okay.
So they'll listen to this before it goes public.
All right.
Are you ready for what I've come up with?
Yeah.
Okay, so he lands at 8 a.m. Realistically, out of there by 9. You never know with Charles de Gaulle. Saturday could be horrible. So let's be realistic here. First thing I've got him doing is sitting in a taxi. Well, a note on the taxis, by the way, when you don't bother with Ubers, take the taxi. It's a standard fare from both of the airports, and there's so many scams there at the airport. People trying to offer you taxi rides. Follow the big feet. There's feet on the road, on the path.
Yeah, literal. It says taxi in big letters and the sign.
You can't get it wrong. Yeah. Follow the feet. Line up for the taxi, and then don't take the train. Your time, everyone's time is valuable, especially on a layover, and you want to take it to the Ile Saint-Louis. Now, I've got it written here, the fixed rate for a taxi fare, anywhere in the right bank, 56 euros, anywhere in the left bank, 65. Ile Saint-Louis is an island between the two banks. If anyone heard that noise in the background.
It's a 4-month-old baby.
Yeah.
She's
our executive producer. So I don't know what the island is, so I say get off, where the Peloton Cafe is.
Right side of the island?
Yeah. You saved $10 already.
You're right.
Right?
Or maybe it's like international water. Maybe it's like special fee.
Yeah, you get out in the taxi.
Yeah, maybe the taxi pays you. Who knows?
You never know. But it goes straight to the restaurant cafe called Saint Regis and have breakfast.
Okay.
So, Will, I want you to go straight there. It's friendly to foreigners. but feels like a local cafe. It is a local cafe. People on the island go there, have a breakfast, go traditional, get a croissant, get an espresso, get an omelette, whatever. Watch the city wake up with Notre Dame over there in the background. Now, I'm going to sort of just fly through this list because we,
Oh, we're busy.
Okay.
Will's busy, but
we've got to get through yours too. Then you've got...
okay, you're full. You've had your breakfast.
Yeah, yep. And by this point, it's like 10, 11 in the morning. Sure. You want to walk over to Notre Dame, right there, cross over to the other island. Just take it in. Mm-hmm. In October, you're getting ready for it to be open. This is a historic time to see the Notre Dame.
Yeah. Will, you should have timed it a little better.
Yeah, come in December when it's reopened. I think seeing Notre Dame be rebuilt is so cool because it's been that way for centuries.
Yeah,
it's
good
been,
point.
So this is historic. Yeah. People who are like, it was under construction.
Great time.
Cross the river again. So you're getting your river in here. Shakespeare and Company. Not for a book.
Maybe.
There'll be no. There'll be a queue. Forget the book. Have a coffee. Nice spot for a good coffee. If there's no line, go in and get a children's book.
I mean, if you do want a book, you absolutely have to get a book.
Otherwise, your time is valuable. Tick it off. Shakespeare Co. Cafe, cookie. Walk up to the Pantheon.
Yeah.
You've got to.
Okay. It's a bit of a hike.
I know. This was the part of my list I wasn't so sure
about.
Is Will
fit?
He's young. I feel like he's a med student. I think he's
He's got to get his steps in.
I don't know why. I feel like he's young as well.
Yeah, I like
but even if you're not, it's not that much of a hike. Up to Pantheon.
So you're wearing sneakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Optional to go in.
Yeah.
If you do, skip the line, €17 or whatever it is. Totally worth it. Otherwise, just see it from outside. Turn around, walk the short walk down to the Luxembourg Gardens. I chose this route specifically because I wanted him to see the Eiffel Tower. And that's a really nice view of it.
Is that his taste of the Eiffel?
That's it. Okay. It doesn't get better than that. Right. You know what, Will? When you get back, for me, I get the feeling that he booked a flight that was really cheap, right? Like €150 return from New York.
Okay.
And the dates were ridiculous. He was like, I don't want to stay in a hotel. I'm just doing a 14-hour layover in the day so he doesn't have to stay in a hotel,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I thought he's going to go back to his med school. And they're going to be like, they're not going to say, did you see the Eiffel Tower? They're not going to say, did you climb the Eiffel Tower? You think?
They want to see photos.
So yours is going to have the Eiffel Tower in it. I think go down to Luxembourg Garden and just find a bench, sit there, watch Saturday. It might be a nice bright day in there. Just watch Saturday Paris on one of those iconic green benches. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. That's a nice way to spend the rest of the morning. From
relaxing.
There, what do you think so far?
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll happily walk in Will's shoes.
Mm-hmm. From there, I've got him on a bike to get down to the Marais. Mm-hmm. I personally would rent one of those Uber bikes, and it would cost €2 or €3. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you can walk, but you're going to be doing a lot of walking. It's going to be a busy day. And I would spend as much time as I could in the Marais, but what I've written for him is I've said, go to the Hôtel de Sully, the Hotel de Sully.
Yeah.
Just such a brilliant, aristocratic mansion that's the courtyard is open to the public. Go through the garden at the back. Anyone who's been on my Marais walking tour, I call this the most beautiful shortcut in Europe. You go through that beautiful garden into the Place de Vosges, the beautiful park, which is such a weird sight in Paris. I think about this sometimes. If you ask 100 tourists what the top 20 things they want to see is, they'll never say Place de Vosges.
No. But it's so good.
It's so good.
I mean, it is that good. It really should be on the list, on the short list, but it's not really. It has a lot of competition.
True.
Yeah.
But anyway, get in there, and then I figured he needs a taste of lunch and culture. So walk via Miznon to get a falafel, Israeli-French falafel joint.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you €15 maybe.
With a drink.
Don't get the drink. Don't worry about the drink. And then,
it's hard to find public toilets.
Then eat in there if you want, or there's a little secret park around the corner on Rue de Rosier. This will all be written down, by the way, on the website Substack.
This feels very close to what you and I actually do in our daily life.
That's why I figured he asked what I would do or what I think.
Yeah, this is it. Truthful.
Well, this is where you and I are going to differ because his taste of culture is going to come from the Musée des Archives, the National Archives, which is a gem, a free museum. If you've seen
for a student.
Yeah, if you've seen Fallout Mission Impossible, where Tom Cruise, that's the Baddies headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the plutonium deals going down in there, which is such a good place. Make sure you go upstairs if it's open, but go just for the rooms. Forget the archives. It's beautiful. And then we're in the afternoon now, so to round it up, right by the archives is a bus the number 29. And if you get on the bus, it's a really cool bus route because it goes past the opera. So
that's nice.
Smart.
Yes.
I think buses are underrated for tourists in Paris.
Yeah, especially if you have a stroller.
I don't know if Will has a stroller.
I don't think he has a stroller.
But it's
I'm
true.
just saying,
it's
if you
true.
have a stroller.
But the metro is...
I feel like we rediscovered buses lately with our strollers.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But also just
nice.
The metro is efficient, but you don't see anything.
Yeah.
And the bus, you see everything.
It's great.
So you take the 29, switch to the bus 95, go to Montmartre. A note on the buses, you can buy them on your phone, the tickets now. €2, $2.50, something like that. You just text, write this down. You just text bus and then the number of your bus. So you text
no space.
BUS29 and then you text it to 93100. 93100. It sounds like an ad.
It does.
It's not. But it's one of the, like, Paris is doing things.
Yeah.
Maybe it was from the
Finally.
Olympics, you know?
That's so good.
Then you get up to Montmartre. I think he needs a drink. So go up to the Terrace Hotel, which we've talked about before. They've got this incredible view over the city. Have a cocktail, splash out. It's going to be €15 or something. And then walk along Rue des Abbesses, my favorite street, and up to the Moulin de la Galette, a restaurant that's not going to win any Michelin stars.
But it's historic.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it got the Michelin Guide nod. But it's, it's historic, the 400-year-old windmill.
You don't really go there for the food. I mean, it's good enough.
No, it's got like menus with Edith Piaf lyrics on it, but it's fun. You're going to enjoy it, Will. And then taxi from there. I don't know what time. I've lost track of the time, but you want to get at least 2 hours early. Oh, by the way, leave your bags at the airport.
Can you?
I hope so.
You better.
He's not bringing bags.
No.
But don't bring them with you.
Yeah, he's got a backpack.
He's got a backpack.
Yeah.
A light one, packed light.
He's got one of these Herschel's, really light backpacks.
Are you talking about your Will or my Will here?
Yours.
Okay. So
mine doesn't have a backpack.
The
Don't
total,
worry about that.
For the total for everything is about €150, which I think is a great deal. Up
That's
to
a
200.
Good layover.
200 if you buy a few things here and there. Excellent memories. Lots of ticking off the great things. And a happy customer. Now I want to hear what you've got.
Okay. My will. My will is landing at Charles de Gaulle, as we all know. And I take that as he's a man of the world. He's a busy man, a businessman.
Because he didn't choose Orly?
Yes, because Orly, which I happen to go from, is like, you get down and dirty.
Yeah.
It's a quick... kind of a dirty burger kind of feel.
Yeah.
If, Charles de Gaulle is the 3-course meal. So yeah, I feel like he's chic.
Yep.
He's chic. He's wearing loafers.
Okay.
Loafers.
This guy's not on a budget, I feel.
No, and also he's not on a budget.
Okay.
No, not really. He's not worried about that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a tweed blazer, some dark wash denim jeans, loafers, rusty orange colored socks.
Okay,
matching the autumn vibe. He has no time to wait, so he's obviously also taking a taxi straight from the airport. Follow those little footsteps, but he's going straight to Place de Vosges.
You also included Place de Vosges.
Yes, so we're starting in the Marais, but we are going for one of the classic hot chocolates with whipped cream at Carrette. Carrette, the restaurant.
Yep, north side of Place de Vosges.
He's
featured in, I think, Emily in Paris.
Probably featuring in a lot of places or shows. He's also having a croissant, obviously.
Personally, do you think that's overrated, that place?
It depends what you want. Like, if you're... I don't know. I think it's good for energy.
Okay.
There's a lot of energy in that hot chocolate.
Yep.
It's a good start. You get a bit of people watching. You see the sun rise over Place de Vosges. Yeah, I don't know. Was it north, south, west, east?
Yeah.
Whatever. Then he's having a little walk around the Marais. He's walking the small streets. He's looking into galleries. He is flaneuring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds hungry, this guy. Did he have breakfast?
He had a croissant.
Okay.
And have you had one of those hot chocolates? The whipped cream, you just lather it on.
Yeah.
He's popping into the Chasse et Nature. Musée de la Chasse et Nature or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if he feels...
The hunting museum with stuffed animals.
Yeah. Or if it's, if he's not into stuffed animals, we also have the Carnivale.
You can't be giving two choices.
I can.
No.
I can.
Okay. This one time I'll allow it. Otherwise, you're just going to recommend two choices the whole way.
The Carnivale.
Oh, you're going to go with Carnivale?
I feel no. You know what? I'm sticking with the shots because
Okay.
I feel like he enjoys his hunting trips on the weekend in Maine.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not a stranger to a stuffed animal.
Right.
Okay. Then he is gonna walk from there, take the nice little charming streets. He is walking towards the Peloton Cafe for his flat white because he needs his coffee. Why there? Because they make you feel like a local, and it's really nice, and you feel like you belong. And even though you've never been, they're just great.
We might even be there Saturday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Come and say hi, Will.
Imagine if that happens. That would be so
That
funny.
would be amazing.
Wow.
Should we join him for the rest of his
Will
day?
has to get in touch to tell us what he does.
I need some pictures. I
Yeah.
want to see a picture of Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peloton, flat white. Okay.
Peloton, and by now I feel like we are 10:30, 11 maybe. We're going to pop over to Ile Saint-Louis. So we have kind of similar itineraries. It's the same ingredients, but just a
I
little
guess
bit of a
this is
different
what
mix.
we would do and what we'd
I
show
guess
people.
so, yeah. You're going to want to take some photos. You're not going to go for No, you're not going to go for a restaurant or anything there. Not yet. We're just going for a few photos, especially at that peak, the peak of the island that's closest to Notre Dame.
Yep.
I call it the Widow's Peak.
Do you mean where you can look down over the...
Yeah, it's like a tree there. Yeah, you know it. Maybe pop into the Cheese Museum purely because I want to know what it's like.
The new
So
cheese
do
museum,
get in
yeah.
touch.
I'm curious about that too.
I feel like it's just a cheese shop.
I think it's a cheese shop where they...
but you pay an entrance.
Yeah, and
so
they
they're
talk
very
to you a little
clever.
bit more and they speak
Yes.
English.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the new
I don't
cheese...
really want to do it,
the
but I
cheese
want to hear what it's
museum
like.
on the Ile Saint-Louis, yeah.
Exactly. And from there, you're going to want to take a bike in your loafers.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's cool. He's still cool. He's young, fit, athletic. And you're going to cycle up to the Jardin de Luxembourg.
Our list is just the same.
Yeah, but different.
But okay.
Yeah. Maybe via the Red Wheelbarrow bookshop.
Yep.
If you feel like picking up a book. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. But then you want to pop into the actual gardens. You want to make sure to walk around and, sample some tennis.
I think the Luxembourg Gardens is so good.
And especially that part, I feel like a lot of people just go around the pond.
Do the pond.
And that's it. But head in towards the trees,
Yep.
go see the tennis courts, maybe even play some chess.
Yep. They're good
Bless
down
you.
there as well.
Bless you, baby.
Also, go to the very back where there's orchards and beehives and
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah, I like that part.
Although
of
you're
it.
on a small layover, Will, I don't know if I'd be exploring too much of
I'm
that.
not sure. But
Lena's
maybe.
list is
Maybe
just
play some
falling
chess.
apart. Was this 2 hours in here?
No, he's quick.
Okay.
He's quick.
Yep.
Don't worry, he's not messing around. Then we're going to want to head to Brasserie Lip for lunch. Yeah,
Institution.
it is. Because you want to get that classic Parisian bistro. It's a real landmark. And you want to order some choucroute. It's like sauerkraut.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty famous for that.
I think
It's
a lot
about
of people don't
25
like Brasserie Lip.
buckaroos.
It's not... it's iconic, but I think people...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's a bit-
divisive.
Yeah, but I have a little soft spot
Yeah,
for
I
it.
like it.
I like
it's
it.
a show. That
It
I
is a
recommend
show.
it too, yeah.
Definitely.
Better than the Café de Flore and
I
Dumago
think so, yeah.
personally. I'd rather go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what you want, but I would do a little choucroute for 25. When you have finished your lunch, he is heading in a taxi from the stand outside, right outside, and you're heading to Montmartre.
I love that you mentioned the stand outside. It's going to save all this time.
I feel like
Yeah.
I've kind of been lingering a little bit,
Okay,
so
taxi.
we gotta step on it now. He's heading to Montmartre.
Taxi to Montmartre, the second taxi of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, money
Yeah,
bags.
he's not stranger to taxi. My Will. But Will is a man who means business, and he needs to see the Eiffel, and he needs to see it up close because he needs that photo proof to show the lads on the trading floor.
He's a
Back
Wall
in
Street
New York.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I think.
You think he's just coming to Paris and then back again as well?
Yeah, he needs,
Yeah.
he needs a few.
Yeah.
Few
So when they're there
momentums
over their morning coffee and they say, "What'd you do at the weekend?" He goes, "I just went to Carrette."
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, is that a new place on the Upper East Side?"
Yeah.
He goes, "No, on the Lower Marais." Yeah. Okay, cool.
That's
I like
exactly
your guy.
him. I like him too. He's suave. But yeah, you need to see the Eiffel. So you're going to ask the driver to go to Montmartre, but need to make a little detour to... There's a florist on Rue de Montessuie, right by the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
You're not going to go up straight to the Eiffel Tower because no need.
Smart.
No need.
Yep.
You want to see one of these cool side streets. So there's a florist called L''Hoea.
Yeah.
You know it?
Yep.
And depending on your budget, and it's October.
Hey, none of this.
Whatever
No.
flowers.
You're cheating. No.
You're picking up.
He's buying a flower?
He's buying a flower.
Okay.
He's asking the florist to take a photo of him in front of the Eiffel.
Presumptuous. That's going to get you in trouble, I think.
You think?
Unless you tip the florist.
Yeah, tipping the florist, tipping the taxi.
Have you included that?
The taxi meter is still running, by the way. You know this.
Can I add, in all seriousness, if you do this, the other good place to do it is Rue de l'Université.
Yes.
That's a nice spot for...
Yeah.
There's lots of people taking photos there, but it's another really cool... Whoa, Eiffel Tower's right there, and it's
one
not
of the
far
other
away.
photographers might help you, take a photo.
Leave the forest alone.
Go to the florist.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got his flower in his hand.
Yep.
He's taking the flower and the taxi up to Montmartre. So he is going, he's seeing the Eiffel Tower. There's something very cool about going in a taxi, having someplace to be, like being busy, going for a meeting, and you just, zoom past the Eiffel.
The casual observation out the window.
I think that's way better than going there as a destination.
Yep.
Don't you think?
That's when
There's
you know
something
you've
cool about
become Parisian.
Yeah.
When you glance
Exactly.
at the Eiffel Tower
It's just
or
like,
the Notre Dame.
it's my backdrop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No
Well, he's
worries.
Parisian,
Don't
your
worry
guy.
about it.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
So where's he going? Where's the taxi
Man
going?
of the world.
Taxi drivers.
I would say straight up to Place de Tertre, the artist square, because, don't mess around. He's not messing around. He has time. He has places to be. He's got limited amount of time, and he needs to see those artists at work. So he's walking around.
Saturday afternoon, going to be busy up there.
Yeah.
You're not going to like it, Will.
Well, I think he's going to
Taxi driver's going to struggle to get up there as well.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm kidding. No, he'll be all right.
But then you're going to walk up to outside of the Sacré-Cœur, marvel at the Holy Divinity. Then you are taking a few snaps of the view. You see all of Paris from up there.
For the lads.
Yeah, for the lads and lasses.
Yeah.
Then you are walking down the steps, down from Sacré-Cœur down towards, not Pigalle, but sort of. You want to head towards Pigalle at this point.
Yep.
Don't stop for one of those bracelets.
A firm no to the bracelet boys.
Yeah.
That goes for everybody, not just Will.
Exactly.
The people who try and tie those cotton bracelets on your wrist, just a firm no.
Yeah.
That's all.
No need to be rude because they're often really nice.
They're friendly.
Yeah.
They'll chat to you.
These dudes.
No, merci.
Exactly.
Continue.
Then I kind of want my Will to have a little bit of an edge, He's still cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm taking him to the Le Mansard.
This is
Yeah.
This is Will who went to Carrette in the morning
Yes.
and then Rue de l'Université.
Yeah, he needs an edge now.
Yeah.
He does.
This guy's got depth.
He does.
So Mansard.
Le Mansard.
That's where I went with Caroline de Maigret for a video.
Exactly. You
That's
never know
her.
who you're gonna meet.
That's her hotspot, I think.
So now you're in like the gritty Montmartre, which is not really Montmartre, it's more like Pigalle, which I think is cool. The lads would love that.
That is a cool tip. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe a burger and a beer.
Yep.
Like you don't need to keep it fancy. Just maybe have a little go at the pinball table.
Wow.
Have fun.
Okay, I do like your day.
Thank you.
And then, so that takes us to the early evening.
Yeah, and then obviously we're finishing in the Montmartre, so that's the closest to Charles de Gaulle.
That was my logic as well.
Jumping
Just
on a taxi.
in case there's
Again.
anything. Yeah. Third taxi of the day. And yours, what's the budget come to?
Good question.
Maybe.
I don't think we're worried about it.
No. $300 maybe.
What happened to the flower?
I don't know. What, the flower that he bought?
Yeah, maybe he gave it to someone at the Le Mansard.
He found love.
Yeah.
Or the
that's
taxi
romantic.
driver. Okay, that's a good itinerary. Two kind of similar, but I mean, most of us had a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But I think that's a smart way to get your first trip to Paris done is to just go. There's a
a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Try to see different areas.
Yep. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over to the members on Patreon and Substack, and we're going to ask them to vote. There's no ties and takesies, backsies, and I like this and that.
No bribing?
No, there's no bribing either. I just want people to vote which one's best.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this episode on Monday, the votes have happened. So let's get into those votes.
Okay.
But if you're listening to this on Patreon, now's the time to vote before we finish the episode. Best of luck to you, Lina.
Thank you. And to you. I don't feel threatened.
Oh, I don't feel threatened either. Let's have some music. And that music you're hearing is French pop singer Amel Bent. Maybe you don't pronounce the T. Maybe it's Amel Bent from Press Maxon. It's a song called Attendez-moi, and Wait for Me seems quite fitting when you're talking about the layover in Paris. Now, this has been an unusual Earful Tower episode because a few days have passed since we recorded that bit, and now we've got the feedback before we release it to the public. Any last words, Lina?
Don't look so smug.
You've seen the winner, haven't you?
I have, not to spoil it to anyone, but yes, I came in second.
You did. Let's read the score here. There were 95 votes from Patreon members and some Substack supporters. 57% said that the best, the primo itinerary was mine.
Sure. I still felt like, my people were fashionably late. To the game.
Well, I gave 2
Maybe
days.
they were way too fashionable.
So you got
too chic, so they just didn't vote. That's what I'm thinking. 43%. I think there's a few things we need to cover. I want to read out some of the comments. I want to start by apologizing. A few of the Patreon members said that I was... My people.
They said I was tough on you. And I want to just explain... I thought Lina's itinerary was really good.
I think you would have chosen it.
I think it was better. And I figured the idea was for it to be a bit of a boxing match. So I was trying to, pick it apart.
I know.
And you were meant to pick mine apart, but you didn't.
I'm too kind.
So there's my apology. I thought your itinerary was great.
Accepted.
Then, look, a few people asked for more specific costs. So we've got that here. It's been worked out to the penny. Mine was 165 euros and yours was, Hannah, who wrote up everything we said for the blog post and the Substack. She said, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
I love that.
And then she put in brackets, if you really need to know.
Really, if you have to ask.
325.
325 a bargain.
A bit expensive.
Yes.
Now let's go through some of these comments. A lot of the people really liked that we tried to figure out who Will was, and they added their own thoughts.
I think also I've been reflecting on my Will, and I think I pictured like a 1989 like Wall Street dude.
1989.
Yeah, Michael Douglas being busy running around New York.
Yeah, younger Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I don't really know where that came from, but that is like who I had in mind.
Yeah.
Just adding that.
I didn't really picture Will to we haven't told Will that we've done this yet, so I'm very curious to hear what he thinks about it. Just to go through a few of the comments from Patreon members here. Vicky Sansom is thoroughly invested in Will's life now. She wants photos from his trip.
Me too.
Kim Dixon requesting a follow-up. Bon voyage, Will. She writes, I printed, we're very organized.
We are.
6 pages of printed out comments here that we're just going to skim through. Karen Johnson, she was one of the people that said I was way too harsh on you.
Thank you, Karen.
And
Thanks for having my back.
She said I was unfair and underhanded to pick it apart like that. But she did add that neither of us had Will getting a crepe. And she said, I think he has to do that. Have you ever been to Paris if you don't enjoy a crepe? And I think she's right. That was an oversight.
I wonder what topping he would go with. Is he a Nutella kind of guy? Maybe.
If we could go back, I'd say make it maybe like a lunch and get cheese and ham in it. €7, fill you up, something like that.
For your Will.
Yeah,
not for my Will.
What have you got here?
I like Nanette's. Nanette says, love both, but I'm voting for Lina's mainly because I think some classic bistro fare is an absolute must-do. Yes, I agree, Nanette. Will can have his falafel at Mamoon's when he gets back to New York. So Choucroute wins the day for me.
I love that she's invested in him being a New Yorker as well.
Yeah.
I've got I got a comment I really like from Remy Janvier. He says, while I love both itineraries, I have to go with Oliver. Good move. You're with the majority there, Remy. He says, I'm a notorious clock watcher, and Oliver seemed a bit more organized and timed. While I would enjoy Lina's, it seemed more spontaneous and free-spirited. In fact, I think he means like, seemed more spontaneous and free-spirited. I'm an accountant. We get arrested for doing things like that.
Yeah. Well, the world needs you, Remy.
In addition, yeah, surprise. In addition, my normal traveling companions are also accountants and engineers. We really are fun people, truly. Just a little more regimented. Love you both. Thanks, Remy. We love you as well. Shall we finish on Julia's here?
Yeah, Julia. Well, I wonder why I picked this. I strongly favor Lina's itinerary.
You put a big heart next to this.
I did actually. Because she said it allowed for slow travel and it had more of a romantic and hopeful vibe, which, yeah, definitely. That's it. You got it.
And you know what? That's kind of the point. You can't really go wrong on an itinerary. I think it depends on who you are. We don't know who Will is, but we know who we are. And This episode was meant to be a bit of a reflection. I said that this was a new episode idea and the way that we released it early for members, which I really liked, early access and getting the community involved. But also we filmed it. So as we're recording this bit now, we haven't seen what the finished product of the film looks like.
Very curious, actually.
But if you want to see what we look like and maybe what future guests look like as they're recording this podcast, head on over to the YouTube channel. Last thing, Hannah, as I said, wrote up our itineraries, which I'll be sharing them on the website, theearfultower.com and Substack. Just search for the Earful Tower on Substack. So you will be able to find this written down somewhere or on YouTube. It's going to be everywhere and social media. But I like the idea of going head-to-head on a reader/listener question. So if you got a question, if I could kind of help you script it, hey Oliver and Lina, or just hey Oliver if I want to tackle somebody else. My grandma Nancy is turning 80 and she's coming to Paris for a weekend and she hates French food. How should she do it? P.S. She hates walking downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the more...
She loves parrots or anything. I don't know.
She will be wearing a beret. This kind of thing. Give us material and we will solve your problems.
Food for thought.
Yeah. But anyway, huge thank you to the Patreon members. I love the idea of 95 people invested in listening to this and voting.
I think it's wonderful. Final question though. Will you be following your own itinerary one day? Will I? I don't know. I haven't
do it
even
every
thought about
weekend, that kind of thing.
I am not just taking a taxi, swinging casually past the Eiffel Tower. Who am I kidding? I might.
You know what I think?
like the idea, though.
Most importantly, I think, Will, if you're listening, and I feel you probably are, get in contact. We won't interrupt your day because you don't have enough time in Paris. We won't interrupt your day, but let us know how it goes. Send some pictures. Maybe
take a few snaps.
Maybe send an email. Maybe there's a place for you on the Earful Tower podcast. It'd be funny if he doesn't even listen to the show. You just sent that email to everybody. Anyway, guys out there, thanks for your interest in this episode. Thanks to everybody who voted, listened. Thanks to everyone who's listening out there in the general public. And if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of Paris and everything we're doing here, become a Patreon member, patreon.com/the Earful Tower. That is how this thing is going and has been going for 8 years now. So I'll leave that in your hands. Lina, taxi taken Lina Nordin G.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Sorry I was so hard on you. It was all in good fun. We'll hopefully have a rematch at some point.
Yeah, I'll take you
if
down.
you dare.
Don't worry about it.
Thanks, Bess Maxon, for the music. We'll have that fading you out and into the week. Merci beaucoup and
au revoir.